You remember the exact moment, don't you? Not a fight, not a blow-up, not some dramatic falling out, just a moment where you looked at your friend, the person who used to celebrate your wins, and something felt different. A little too quiet when you shared good news, a little too eager when you stumbled. You didn't say anything, neither did they, but you both felt it. And from that moment on, nothing was ever quite the same. Let me paint the picture. Two friends. Maybe you've known each other since high school, maybe college, maybe a first job. You used to dream together, talk about the future like it was a movie you were both starring in. You'd sit in some cheap diner at midnight, splitting fries, and say things like, one day, man, one day. And you meant it, together. But then one of you started moving, a promotion, a relationship, a new apartment, a body transformation, a business that started making real money. Whatever it was, the gap started to open. And here's the part nobody warns you about. It's not the big gap that hurts. It's the small one. The gap that's just big enough for jealousy to crawl in, but small enough that neither person wants to admit it's there. You start noticing things, little things. You share a win, and instead of a congratulations, you get a question. Oh, wow, but how did you even afford that? Are you sure that's a good idea, though? I thought you said you were keeping it low-key this year, and you smile, because what else do? You start editing yourself, sharing less, downplaying your wins. It was lucky timing, honestly. It's not a big deal. I got really fortunate. You shrink, so they feel bigger. And the saddest part? You don't even realize you're doing it. The relationship quietly shifts into performance. You stop being yourself around them. You start performing a version of yourself, one that won't trigger whatever's going on beneath the surface. And here's where it gets darker. Here's the psychological truth that nobody in your life is going to tell you. Friendship and competition don't cancel each other out. They can exist in the same person at the same time. Your friend can genuinely love you and also feel threatened by you. Psychologists call it social comparison theory. We measure our own worth by comparing ourselves to the people closest to us, not celebrities, not strangers, the people right next to us. Because a stranger's success has nothing to do with your life, but your friend's success. That hits different. Because you started at the same place. You had the same opportunities, the same resources, the same amount of hours in the day. So when they pull ahead, even just a little, a voice in the back of your head starts asking a very dangerous question. Why not me? And that question, it doesn't stay quiet. It starts reshaping how they see you. Your achievements become reminders of their gap. Your confidence starts to feel like criticism. Your success starts to feel like an accusation. Nobody talks about this, but you need to hear it. The dark truth is this: friendships don't usually end because of hate. They end because of distance, not physical distance, identity distance. You were once at the same place, same dreams, same struggles, same vibe. And then one of you changed. Maybe it was you who grew. Maybe it was them. But the friendship was built on sameness, and sameness started to disappear. So what fills that space? Comparison, resentment, quiet competition. Here's another thing nobody says out loud. Sometimes the friend who's falling behind isn't rooting against you on purpose. They're terrified that your progress is evidence of their stagnation, that if you can do it, then they have no excuse. And that is one of the most uncomfortable feelings a human being can sit with. So instead of dealing with it, they redirect it toward you, not because they hate you, because you remind them of everything they haven't done yet. So what do you do with this? Here's the mindset shift. Stop trying to manage their comfort at the cost of your growth. You were not put on this earth to shrink so someone else could feel comfortable. That's not friendship. That's emotional babysitting. Real friends, true ones, don't need you to fail to feel okay about themselves. And here's the second shift. Stop making it personal when it isn't. What they're feeling isn't really about you. It's about them, their fear, their timelines, their inner critic. You just happen to be the mirror that's showing them what they don't want to see. You can have compassion for that without accepting their energy. Some friendships are seasonal. They're meant to carry you through a chapter, not your whole story. And recognizing that isn't betrayal, it's wisdom. The hardest part isn't the competition. The hardest part is the grief. Grieving the version of the friendship you thought would last forever. The midnight conversations, the inside jokes, the person who knew you before the world did. That grief is real. Let yourself feel it. But don't let it convince you to go back to who you were just to keep the peace. Because the peace you'd be keeping isn't real peace. It's just quiet tension with a smile on it. Here's what I want you to remember. The people who are meant to be in your corner are already in your corner. They don't applaud quietly. They don't minimize. They don't go cold when the sun starts shining on you. They celebrate like it happened to them because to them, it kind of did. Find those people, keep those people, and stop shrinking for anyone who doesn't. This is Jordan, and I'll see you in the next one.